news right now out of Weld County, where 2 officers are now facing criminal charges.
They're accused of putting a woman who was handcuffed inside a police car parked on train tracks minutes.
Accused of it? We saw them do it. They actually, yeah, it's about time they accused him and charged him of doing something.
Later, a train smashed into that vehicle. The woman was badly injured. Dylan Thomas live now with our top story from the Weld County DA's office. Dylan, we know a lot of people in that community have been demanding to know how this could have happened.
Jim, we're following breaking news tonight as 2 officers and the suspect involved in September's train crash are now facing charges.
Of course the suspect is still facing charges. They damn near killed her, but she lives, so she gets charged.
Many people here in Weld County have been asking for months now if the officers will be held accountable for arresting that woman.
They won't.
Placing her in the back of a police car that was parked on train tracks just moments before a train hit it at a fast rate. Today we learned the answer to that is yes, and one has even faced charges of attempt to commit manslaughter.
Ooh, attempt to commit manslaughter. Oh, we got him now, right? Not really. Wait till you see how the charges play out. Can you imagine being handcuffed in the back of that car, seeing the lights from this train, hearing the horn just blaring, and seeing all the control freaks just tossing your truck and not coming to help you? Can you imagine being handcuffed in the back of that car?
Now, this chilling body camera video from September 16th shows the moment a train in Platteville slammed into the side of a police cruiser. Now, in the back of that police car was Yareni Rios-Gonzalez, a woman who was handcuffed and detained for allegedly pointing a gun at another driver earlier in the night. Now, she pulled over in Platteville.
Let's see if we can bop back to it. It tries to get through it so fast that it's hard to see it. So they don't actually got to hold nobody accountable. They try to bop through it.
Another driver earlier in the night. Now, she pulled over in Platteville near the train tracks.
Right here. She pulled over. She's up here. Her truck, you can't see it. Past the railroad tracks. Here's dumbass sergeant. You know, he's sergeant because he's so much smarter than anybody else. Parked on the railroad tracks. She pulled over past the railroad tracks. Apparently, she has basic reading and sign knowledge. One would just think the Blue Line gang would too. Seems like when his dumbass stepped out of his vehicle and realized he was on the tracks, he would have went up to her vehicle, told her to move up so she could get off the tracks. Or maybe he was scared because, you know, she was supposed to have a firearm, so he could have gotten on his little PA and told her to move up. And for people to say, how do you know he knew he was parked on the tracks? If you go back and look at my first video, 1, 2, 3, probably been 4 videos back from this one. It shows his body cam footage. You can see him open his door. He puts his left foot out of the car, looks down at the tracks, realizes that there's tracks there, and moves his foot off the tracks before he gets out. That's how, you know, he knew he was on tracks.
And Platteville officer Pablo.
He ain't got time to shave. He ain't gonna bother to do all that. He ain't gonna bother to do anything else.
Vasquez stopped his police vehicle nearby on the train tracks. Vasquez and Fort Lupton officer Jordan Steinke then drew their weapons and ordered Rios-Gonzalez to exit the car, which she did. They placed her in handcuffs and put her in the back seat of a police car while they searched her vehicle.
Of course they did.
Soon after, you can hear a train horn blaring for several moments before the officers realized it was coming right toward the cruiser.
That train horn is just blaring. It starts off with a kind of warning that, hey, I see you. Then it goes to a, I'm really on the way now. Then it say, you're running out of time. Then it's a final warning. Then it say, everyone get the hell out of the way. I'm right here, right now. I tried to tell you. Now it's all about, I'm about to bring the pain. And the train does.
and Rios-Gonzalez. But by the time they reacted, it was too late. The train smashed into the side of the police car, and Rios-Gonzalez was handcuffed in the back. Now, we should note that Rios-Gonzalez is also facing a charge of felony.
Yeah, she's facing charges. So I looked this up for this area, and here's how this plays out. Attempt to commit manslaughter is a class 4 felony, sentence of 2 to 6 years in prison, and fined somewhere between $2,000 and $500,000, depending on how egregious it is. Second degree assault is a class 4 felony, has a mandatory minimum, men, cops will call it, of 5 years in prison, maximum 16 years in prison, mandatory 3-year parole period, reckless endangerment, 120 days in jail, and $750 in fines. Out of all this and everything I just told you, Jordan Stanky, the female officer, was charged with assault, not even second degree, they dropped it down to assault, and reckless endangerment, which was the lesser of any of these charges. Now, for you and I, we'd be looking at a total of 5 years in prison, mandatory minimum. So, like I said, they reduced all her crap. And the second degree trespass, assault, they've dropped that down. And out of everything, she wound up getting no jail time. She was fired, sentenced to 2.5 years of supervised probation. That's all she got out of all that.
Menacing for allegedly pointing a firearm.
Now, the menacing you just heard was the victim. She was charged with felony menacing because they found a firearm. So, felony menacing in this area is a class 5 felony because she had a firearm. 1 to 3 years prison and somewhere from $1,000 to $100,000 in fines. Also, everyone knows government is money hungry, so for her, it won't be an and or, it'll be a and. She will get jail time and she will pay a fine.
Somebody else earlier in the evening. We reached out to the lawyers who represent the 2 officers involved. One told us no comment. The other one told us they're looking.
Also, let's go back. Hold up. They was talking about her, but they were showing his crap.
No comment. The other one told us they're looking forward to their day.
Hold up.
Told us no comment.
Can I go back far enough? Okay, so here's the sergeant. Here's all his charges. Right here. 120 days in jail and $750 in fines. Obstructing a highway, 10 days in jail and $300 in fines. Careless driving. Since his resulting in an injury, his charge should be enhanced. He should be looking at 10 days to 12 months in jail and $300 to $1,000 in fines. And parking where prohibited, usually a fine of about $35 to $60, all depending. And for all that, he pled guilty to 1 count of reckless endangerment, which you and I would have got 120 days in jail and $750 in fines. He got 1 year of supervised probation, and I haven't found anywhere where it says he had to pay any fines.
To represent the 2 officers involved, one told us no comment.
No comment. Of course they have no comment. They're not commenting about anything. They'll probably go to court. You'll never hear about it. The next big thing will happen. This will drop from the headlines. It'll be swept under the carpet. And they'll be likely off to, well, her, I think she got fired, be off to another department. The sergeant, he'll probably be assistant chief before you know it.
The other one told us they're looking forward to their day in court.
They're looking forward to their day in court. That means that they found a way around any accountability, which isn't surprising because there's never any accountability for these people.
Reporting live in Greeley, Dylan Thomas covering Colorado.
So much, and Dylan covers everything happening in northern Colorado. We'd love to get your story ideas. Call 303-863-TIPS or reach out via cbscolorado.com.